everyone, it's Toby here from Simple Life Studio, and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. In the last video you might have seen a specific plugin, and it's the Scheps Omni Channel, the newer version, the Scheps Omni Channel2 by Waves, and I've been asked about this plugin, and so I decided to make a dedicated video just about this plugin because it's one of my absolutely favorite plugins, my absolute favorite channel strip plugin, and it's very versatile and you can do really a lot of stuff with it. And today I'm going to show you some specials about this plugin, and I'm going to show you this plugin in action, for example on a snare track or a kick track. So let's dive right in and let's see what we can do with the Scheps Omni Channel. First of all, I'm going to show you the plugin itself. Let's open it up on the snare track. So this is the Scheps Omni Channel 2, and what you have here is a kind of a regular channel strip plugin. It's a pre-section, a saturation tools, a low cut and high cut filters. What I love really about this plugin is the possibility to dial in a low cut filter, and at the same time you can boost the resonance frequencies, and I will show you that in a minute. But let's go further through the plugin first. We have a gate section here, which you can use as a gate or as an expander, and you have a DeEssers section, an EQ section, and a compressor section with 4 different types of compressors: a voltage controlled compressor, a fat compressor, optical compressor, and a soft one. And you have the possibility right here to insert any other Waves plugin. Let's say you can insert a reverb or delay or modulation plugins, no matter what, can input it here. Input and output levels. So let's see what this can do. I have the same track here, it's echoes of yesterday from Rebel Resurgence. We have worked on in previous videos, for example in the how to find a good starting point for bass and vocals videos, and today we want to have a look. Today we want to have a closer look at the drums. So let's go. Here's the drums itself without any processing. Let's solo the drum tracks. And so let's do something with the snare drum. Let's open up the channel strip. And I know you should not mix with your eyes, but let's have a look at what the plugin is actually doing. Here you can see the frequencies. So now I have everything dimmed about 10 dB, except from the snare, just to have a better possibility to listen what the Scheps Omni Channel is actually doing. And at first I want to go rid of all this unnecessary low end, so insert a low cut filter, about the fundamental frequency of the snare. Should be right here, 167, and go a little deeper than that. Can also just listen to the low end. What happens if I dial in the low cut filter? Let's start from scratch. Right here I would say, and now let's boost the resonance frequencies. The resonance frequencies is right above the low cut filter. So let's see what the low cut filter is doing. Everything below 150 is almost gone without the low cut filter and with. And now let's boost the frequency area just above 150. Gives a little punch in the low end. Match input and output volume, bring the output down a little bit. So this is with Scheps Omni Channel and without. So let's bring in the rest. Once more, this is with channel strip and without. So next, let's get rid of some of the low mid. Yes, it would be about 400, 450. Down a little bit. Oh, a lot better. Bring up the highs a little bit. Let's start at 10K with a high share filter. About 5 to 6 decibels and bring that down to where it sounds good. Right here, I would say. So now, a great feature of this plugin, you can switch the positions of each single part of this. Now I would like to boost the frequencies directly into the DeEsser, so I need to set the DeEsser after the EQ section. And now we can tame the highs a little bit, bring them a little bit, make them a little bit consistent. This is what the DeEsser is doing. We can do the same with the low mid rumble. Set the low DeEsser about 400. Just to make sure there's no excessive low mid frequency. Now bring in the compressor just to make it a little more punchier. Let's choose a fat style compressor. Now let's start with a 10 millisecond attack and a short release. It's almost a little dirty. As you can hear, the compressor brings the highs up a little bit more, and the sustain of the snare seems like to be a little longer, but it actually isn't longer. It's just because the compressor is bringing up the quieter parts of the snare a little bit. Then the snare, complete snare, not dimmed, in the context with the complete drum set with channel strip plugin and without. Another great feature of this plugin is let's open up another instance of it for the kick drum. Now I have loaded the Scheps Omni Channel, but it's actually doing nothing because none of these sections is activated. It first starts doing anything when you activate one of each sections. Let's say I want to activate the pre-section. If it's gray, it's inactive, it's bypassed. If it's orange, it's active. Dim everything except from the kick drum. Let's do the same thing we have done with the snare with the kick. Let's find the bottom frequency, the fundamental frequency. It's about 55-ish. Or the low cut filter at 50. Hear that difference? 6, 12, 18 or 24 is just the slope of the low cut filter at the dB per octave, and 6 dB per octave. I can show you this in another one here. Let's dial in the low cut filter here just to see. This is 12 dB per octave, 6 dB, 24 dB. It's much steeper than 6 dB per octave, for example. So let's take that off again. If I switch from 6 to 24 in the channel strip, here what happens to the resonant frequencies? It's a lot more bottom end. You can also just listen to the low end. 24 dB per octave and 6. It's almost clipping somewhere, don't know where. Might be the second interface I use for the video. Bring up the resonance frequencies a little more just for you to hear. It's a lot of body. So let's make the kick a little punchier. Let's EQ it a little. That's the EQ in front of the DeEsser. There's even some low mid rumble we don't need, we don't want to have. Let's find where that is. Oops. About this. Take the low band, bring that up to about 180, and let's find out what sounds best. There, 180, 190, bring that up, back up a little bit again. So let's bring in some upper mids. Just to make sure the kick drum is audible even in the mid-range. So just focus on the mid-range. Definitely there. Input and output matching. Compressing a little bit. with Scheps Omni Channel and without it. It's for sure a difference. It's a complete drum set. So let's see what we can do else with the channel strip plugin. And now I want to go for a parallel compression drum bus. I usually set up the parallel compression just for the toms and the snare, and for the kick drum, not for the cymbals, not for the hi-hat. Let's open up, let's add an effects channel. This one I wanted it to be in stereo. Just bring in the Scheps Omni Channel2 and name that drums par comp, for example. So here we go. This is our parallel drum bass compression, and now we can get a little more excessive with it. Bring in some saturation to signal it up. There's 4 types of saturation. And now let's crank up the compressor. Down again and dial it into taste. There's some life coming up in the drum bus. By the way, where it is going to pre-out drums mix. So this is just a little bit of playing around with the Scheps Omni Channel at the drums, but there are so much more possibilities. Even when you just use the presets, for example, here's a huge library of presets for almost everything, from acoustic guitar over vocals to drums to bass, for everything. And everything, almost everything, just sounds better if you use just one of these presets, for example. This is really a huge tool. There are some more features we could go over, but this would be a really long video if I would do this. You might have seen this at the vocals in the last video, and what it's doing here. I can show you again.
And a dusty case of memories, old photographs and letters, traces of who I used
with
to
the Omni
be.
Channel and vocals without them.
The echo of my younger self still calling out today.
It's just even it's just a low cut filter at this place. A little bit of EQ, a little bit of de-essing and compression. Let's listen once more and just in solo.
These old photographs and letters, traces of who I used to be. In the corner there's a box
With
of
Omni
dreams,
Channel.
faded shades of grey. The echo
Without.
of my younger self still calling out today. And nothing's on that's on this day. I hold the echoes close, a constant reminder of the journey that I chose.
So we could also try this plug-in on the bass, on the bass mix bus, for example. Where is it? Here, solo bass mix bus. That was wrong. Bass mix is mono, so we need to open up a mono Omni Channel plugin. just to make it a little more consistent, just add up another compressor. I would take an optical compressor for this. It's a little bit slower. Let's see what it's doing. Nothing at all. Now it comes in. You could actually even use this compressor as a parallel compression, for example, because right here is the mix knob. Now it's 100% wet. Compress a little more. Let's crank it a little bit. Bring up the output gain a little bit. So now you could go from 100% wet to 100% dry and dial it into taste. What is the bass sounding mid-range? So, this was my short insights to my favorite Channel 2 plugin, Scheps Omni Channel2 by Waves. If you have any questions about this one, feel free to drop a comment below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more of videos like this. And yeah, let's see you next time. Ciao!